chill.
Hello Marvel Legends and welcome to another episode of the Legends Legacy Review, and now we have a real special character, one of my absolute all-time favorite Marvel Comics characters. So of course I'm going to have a lot of love for this legend, but it's not perfect. It is the Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly. Oh, what a figure we have here. Based on the Pizza Spider-Man mold. So again, for Spider-Man, you couldn't ask for a better physique representation. It's that slim, slender, swimmer's physique, lithe and as thin as a rake with the muscles of a snake, as my theme tune used to say. Now, the Ben Reilly figure has so many extra little sculpting things going on that make it, above your average figure. More so, arguably, than Pizza Spider-Man himself. Because you see, where he has the basic Pizza Spider-Man body, there's so much more going on top of this, and that makes a real big difference. So, of course, you have the basic mold, but then you've got the lovely little pockets, the ankle bracelet sort of pouches that he keeps his various, ammunition for his web shooters in. It's an iconic touch from the 90s design. You know, so many characters in the 90s had pockets and pouches that served no obvious purpose. What did Cyclops keep in the pouches across his chest? Always wondered. Contact lenses? I don't know, hand moisturizer? Whereas with a character like Ben Reilly, he has stingers, he has impact webbing, he has regular web cartridges. It makes perfect sense he would have these little pockets and pouches here. Spare change, debit card. So that's a great addition to the character. Also, you have the belt as well. You've got the belt with the extra web fluid cartridges around the outside. Again, beautifully sculpted, little extra details like that. It could have just been like a rush job, but it wasn't. This is a figure. That was going to happen. Hey, they're all going down. We're going to keep on going. They could have half-assed this. Especially Hasbro could have half-assed this, but they didn't. They used their whole ass, and it really, really shows. One thing I love about the design of Ben Reilly, of the costume, is that it is a thrown-together costume. He came back to New York not planning to be a superhero, not wanting to be a superhero, and he just, circumstances were what they were, and he was like, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to grab this hoodie that happens to have a spider on it, how about that? And he threw together this costume. He still had his cartridges and his web shooters because he, like a Amex, don't leave home without it, just in case. And speaking of... Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not going to pause it. There we go. I love how ramshackle these are. Look at it, even Ben sees it, like, don't! All right. So yes, the web cartridges, separately sculpted onto the wrists, actually sticking out and standing out there. I was going to put this character lower in my mind, but now I'm thinking he really does have so much going on. There's such a wonderful representation of the character from the comics, but not perfectly so. This is a weird one. This is not like Hasbro. They've added a black line around the eyes. The Scarlet Spider in the comics has never ever had a black line around his eyes. It's always just been plain white. I don't know why Hasbro chose to add this, because it's not something they normally do, is add their own touches to a figure. They keep it comic accurate. But for whatever reason, someone was like, no, we need to distinguish. We need to distinguish the black from the mask. And the funny thing is, I like the look of that. I think it works. It does distinguish it. It makes the eyes look more prevalent, slightly more menacing, And again, being the 90s, they're huge, which I love the huge eyes, but it's not comic accurate. So that has to kind of lose it a couple of points, which they fixed with the vintage release. So you can see they were thinking about that. But yeah, Ben Reilly is just a wonderful figure. Look, you got the little tassels, which are actually separate. The tassels are separate plastic on his hoodie. Such a great little touch and attention to detail. Speaking of the hoodie, you got the ruffled hoodie behind him with the second spider logo on the back. Oh, the more I look at this figure, the more I really appreciate it. I wasn't going to put him so high, but I'm gonna put him high because not only that, I haven't even mentioned he's got the different hands as well. He doesn't have a spare head. That's a shame. He doesn't have a spare head, but my goodness, he has the punching hands, he has the whipping hands. There is a lot going on with this figure as far as added value is concerned. So much so that Oh gosh, where am I going to put him? It's really, really tough. I am going to put him, even though Pizza Spider-Man is more iconic, it's Scarlet Spider that has more going on if you discount the lack of a spare head. There's so much more sculpting on the body, so I'm going to put Scarlet Spider above Pizza Spider-Man in the Legends Legacy review. Alright guys, that was my Ben Reilly review there, and I'm very, very happy with this figure. As you can see, we're moving on into like what I call sort of like peak Hasbro Legends for when I started collecting, and I love this guy. Folks, what do you think of the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider? Do you like the fact that Hasbro make little additions? Can you think of any other additions that Hasbro have made? Off the top of my head, I can't think of a single new thing that Hasbro have put onto a character that wasn't in the comics. So it's a very unusual choice, that. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of the Legends Legacy Review. Actually, knowing me, there's going to be a whole bunch of unboxings before that. But whatever the episode might be, I will see you in the next one of my show. Until then, keep displaying model behavior.
Hey yo, Olio me chico, listen to me, the bad guy, Razor Ramon. If you want to like, share, and subscribe to model behavior, that's gonna be good for you. Cause if you don't, the razor will carve you